All right, how you guys doing? This is your girl, Cigar Lady Annette.
And Becky with Cigar Damas.
And we have a special topic tonight.
Our third one.
Yep.
Our third show.
Yes.
3 months in a row. We've done all three at Fendi. We want to do a shout out for him. I always smoke the Fendi Maduro when I'm here.
And I'm always doing a miscellaneous cigar, so until somebody gives me a free one, I won't be announcing their names. So last episode we talked about dating, and that was a great topic. We had some pretty good feedback, and I think pretty much everybody agreed with us because as you know, everything we talk about is our opinion, and you're entitled to disagree.
100%.
And we love to hear your feedback. So
so if you do agree or disagree, we're not the type who's going to get offended over it. Not everybody can be right, like us.
Absolutely.
So it's okay.
Yeah. So now this particular topic, though, I'm going to say that I'm pretty much sure that I'm 99.99% right.
Well, yeah, because you used to be a lounge owner, so you know more about it than I do.
Well, not only that, I've worked at so many different lounges, excuse me, with so many different owners, so many different events for years, and I don't know one lounge owner that would not agree with what we're going to talk about. So I think, have you ever hosted an event at a cigar lounge?
No.
So if you were to host an event at a cigar lounge.
I guess I kind of do for Ladies Night over at La Ferrona. Kind of. It's not like a ticket event or anything, but I know just from I just know from my perspective what I do when I come over there. I try to bring in people, of course, and not just people who will spend money and buy the cigars, because that's the whole point of the business. We want to see any business that you host at succeed. I always try to bring like food or something, and I also get with them to do specials. It happens to be a ladies' night, so we do specials for the ladies. And so they know that if they buy certain cigars or certain drinks, they're going to get a set price for it.
And that is when?
That is third Friday of every month at La Ferrona.
All right, third Friday of every month, La Ferrona, Ladies Night. You guys come through, food, drink specials, cigar specials, raffles. So anyway, so I am going to talk about what most lounge owners expect when you host an event at their establishment. Obviously, it is to bring in customers.
Yes.
Okay, this is what I wanted to say before I talk about that. So one of the things I think is very important that I think a lot of the lounge owners are missing is contracts.
Yes.
Where they have to be very specific on what it is that they want or don't want. What do they expect or don't expect. If it's in writing, there shouldn't be any confusion. That way you can go back to the person and say, item 1, section 2 said. So what is expected from the lounge owners? Not the lounge owners. Okay, so you host an event at a lounge. You tell them you're going to bring in customers or whatever you guys agreed upon. Now, again, this is probably me personally, because I think I'm the hostess with the mostest. I feel that if I'm going to host an event at a cigar lounge or any business establishment, that I am going to make sure my customers are respecting the rules.
Yes. And I think that starts before the night of the event. I think that starts prior by letting people know what, this is included, this is not included, what's expected. And require, because I've done events, and whenever I start the event, depending on what it is, I said, just know there is me personally, I always tell people there's a two-stick minimum. But, some of these events where they're hopping around from place to place, that's a little different. It's a different story. So it's at least a cigar minimum. Now, if you're not a smoker, but you're at a cigar lounge that has a bar, try to buy something $10 on up. Try to make sure that you are at least spending a minimum of $10 per person. And not just a soda or a bottle of water.
Yeah, because that does really nothing.
Throw something in with that water and soda.
Yeah.
Don't be cheap.
Because, they have to pay for employees. They bring in a little bit more staff to help out, and again, each one of these chairs is real estate.
That's a good way of looking at it.
It is. It's real estate. You have to purchase in order for you to be in that seat. And, and again, it's expensive to run a lounge. People don't realize it, but it's very expensive to run a lounge. your overhead is your electricity.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, your electricity is
when you're sitting in it, you're renting that space,
yeah.
you know, basically. So,
mm-hmm.
yeah. And you know, there's enough going on with cigars and our rights to smoke cigars that we need to really support the lounges.
Absolutely.
Because that's the first thing people are going to do when they don't have somewhere to smoke, especially, you know, being from Missouri. At some point, it gets cold enough where you can't even do it in your backyard. So you got to have somewhere to go. And if you don't have somewhere to go to purchase those cigars or to sit there and smoke, you're going to be very unhappy about that.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, some people live in apartments. There's, you know, non-smoking apartments.
Absolutely.
So support your brick and mortar. So I'm gonna give you an example. I hosted an event here at Findy's recently for the Buffalo Soldiers, not the motorcycle club, but just the organization. They were so well. I mean, they were just so professional, and it was packed. It wasn't like, you know, they had like 20 people. It was packed.
So they knew what they were doing. They ran things right.
Absolutely. Everybody that came through that door, they were sitting there. They were, you know, they let them know what the deal was. They made sure everybody purchased something. They made sure that the ashtrays weren't, you weren't making a mess. They were throwing their trash away, or they were asking me, you know, where can they throw the trash? And I was like, nope, I got it. And, you know, they're like, no, we want to throw our own trash. I had one lady that would not let me take her trash. Literally, she told me she doesn't believe that people should be serving her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But that's few and far between.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
hers
she was extreme. She was like super duper extreme. But, you know, just.
Not that that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just, doesn't usually happen.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, when they come to a lounge, it's like going to a restaurant. They want to be waited on.
Yeah.
You know, they want to have a drink when it starts getting empty. They want to be able to have an ashtray they can put their ashes in without it being full.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's totally understandable, but you just have to really police your guests. Don't host an event, and don't use the excuse, well, you know, I'm doing it for marketing, and, you know, they might be able to come there again. That's true, but they're also in the business of making money at that moment. So if you didn't make an arrangement to prepay for things, then just try to support the lounge by helping your guests that you invited support the lounge.
And also, they won't want to co-host with you again. A lounge won't if people are coming in and not spending money, or if they're disrespecting the space.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
like bringing in your own alcohol or bringing in cigars if that's not allowed.
Ugh.
You know, just maintaining that. Didn't you know of an event who just did that? People were bringing in their own alcohol.
Oh, yeah. Good example. So I was at a lounge, and the owner, we were talking about different things, how to implement during events. So hopefully I'm going to get most of the lounges on board with this implementation. I'm not even going to say what it is. You'll just have to figure it out when you get there. But this lounge has a bar and a particular organization who is well known for law enforcement. They brought in their own alcohol into the lounge.
So a law enforcement organization brought in their own alcohol when they're probably aware of liquor license and what's allowed and what is not allowed. So they're putting this lounge at risk to lose a liquor license, be shut down, or who knows what else. And, interesting.
Yeah. And I told the lounge owner, I said, next time you have an event, the Leaf Angel, which is me, will host your event for you for free. So what I have no problems doing is explaining to the customers what the rules are in a very professional way, very respectful way. You know, I don't want any lounge to go out of business. I don't want any lounge to lose their liquor license. You know, so just people.
And you don't want guests to not have fun.
Yeah.
You know, you want everybody to win in the situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and some people may, like I said, if they are not aware of it, but I mean, just a law enforcement, I would assume they would know. You know what I mean? The risks that they're putting.
But then it goes back to I was saying earlier that you either have to have owned a business or have common sense. That doesn't necessarily mean that you had either one of those.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which profession you're in, unless you own the business. Then you know, I tend to find that those people understand a little bit more.
Yeah, or I look at it as, you know, I've been involved in family business since I was a kid. It's basically like the way I've always felt it is, like someone coming to your home.
Yeah.
If you're going to someone's home, which their business is, you know, important to them. It's sacred to them. They've worked hard to get what they have. And so treat it with respect. So if I'm going to a barbecue and it's bring a dish, bring your own alcohol, I'm bringing it. Bring your own cigars, I'm bringing it. But if someone invites me and they say they have a set agenda and they have set food, I'm not showing up with that kind of stuff. Right. You know what I mean? So treat a lounge just like you would your home or anything else. You know, do what you would want done to you. It's these things we talk about.
The golden rule
seem so simple and seem like common sense, but they're things that I hear a lot of people complaining about. So it must not be that common that people are aware of what's expected.
And you know how I know it's not? Just a couple of days ago, I was at a lounge and a group of people came in and they all sat down. I waited for about, 5-10 minutes. And as soon as I saw them pull out their own cigars, I was like, hey, can I help you in the humidor? Do you need help in the humidor? And they're like, no, we got our cigar. And I said, well, unfortunately, you have to buy a cigar. Oh, I didn't know we had to buy a cigar.
Yeah, or some lounges, if you bring your own, they just want you to pay for like a cut and light fee.
Yeah,
depends on what it is. Because sometimes a lounge may not have what you smoke or anything else. And so I know that people sometimes, but most people I've ever dealt with who bring their own cigars are like, they find out first, like, hey, do you have a cut and light fee?
Yeah, find out
do you
what the rules
want?
are.
And I mean, most people are always eager to add to the collection. So even if it's something in there they may not smoke that day or they may not smoke, it's always good to have cigars even that you wouldn't smoke, because how many times do you hear, hey, can I have a cigar or whatever? So not that I throw the crap at people, but sometimes I will give them cigars that I know I won't smoke because I know you ain't gonna smoke it anyway. You're literally, once you figure out how to light it, you're probably going to take a couple puffs on it, not drags, which is what I hear a lot, which is how I know someone does not smoke a cigar, is when they say, hey, can I have a drag off of that? No, you can't, but so I give them something that may not be my palate, but I mean, it may not be like utter crap, but it's just going to be something I know I'm not going to smoke. Yeah. So I always like having that kind of stuff on hand anyway.
So the moral of the story is, one, lounge owners, get everything in writing. Write what you expect out of the hostess and their guests. Hostess, 100%. Please make sure your guests are aware of the requirements. If you are hosting at a lounge, you're not going to go into a restaurant and not buy something. I don't understand that. So the moral of the story is just, get everything in writing. Get everything in writing and share it with your guests. You will have less problems. You will less disappointments, less complaints.
100%. Because
when we implemented here an event where everybody had to purchase, and I went around and made sure everybody had purchased something, the hostess looked like they were upset.
Oh. So it wasn't were the customers upset because they weren't aware of
the customers
expected?
Okay. Everybody was upset, but unfortunately it's like, again, it's a cigar lounge. You got to buy a cigar.
Yeah.
Or if there's a bar, you got to buy a drink, and I don't mean a soda. I mean something worth $10.
So the communication was broke down between the host and the customers that they brought in.
Yeah. So just make sure you guys get it in writing. Make sure you discuss it with your guests, and let's try to keep these brick and mortars in business, because we do need them.
100%, we need them.
And I'm not really sure what our topic is going to be on next week, but I'm sure it'll be fun. So again, if you guys have any comments, suggestions, definitely put it in our comment section after this video goes up.
I mean, we love to hear the feedback, because this is our opinion. This is from what we've heard, and a lot of times lounge owners cannot speak on things because you make the wrong person mad, and they can word of mouth can destroy you, and so sometimes they have to just sit there and but at the end of the day, their business is their priority. So we want to see them succeed. We don't want them come off looking like they're the bad guys. We as cigar smokers, we don't want to look like the bad guys either. Yeah. We have to fight enough with the government. We do not need to fight each other. So.
All right, guys. So hope you enjoyed our show, and we look forward to your feedback.
We'll see you.